Hello everyone, I am Neelam Choudhary, your host for the web series Django Project Based Learning. So, in this series, you will learn Django with the help of the project. So, before we jump into today's topic, do me a favor. Give that like button a quick tap, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. I hope you have subscribed my channel. So, if you have subscribed, let us begin with today's topic. So in this tutorial, we will talk about the static files. All the CSS file, JavaScript file, images and video files are considered as a static files in Django. So depending upon where you are going to create the static files, you will have to do the changes in the settings.py file. Do you remember about templates? If you create a templates folder within the application, you don't do any changes in the settings.py file. But if you create the template folder outside the project, you have to do some changes in the settings.py file. Similarly, over here as well, if you are creating the static folder inside the application, you will not do any changes. But if you are creating the static folder outside the project, then you will have to do the changes in the settings.py file, this changes. And if you are going to go for the combination of both, means you have a static folder within the application as well as outside the project, then again you will have to do these changes in the settings.py file. So before we see this practically, these are the steps to create the project. If you don't know how to create the project and application, kindly go through my previous tutorial and then come back to this tutorial. Now let us see practically all the approaches. So I will be creating the project in this folder. So let us open this with the help of the VS Code editor. Open terminal. I will be creating the project within the global environment. So I should have the Django within my system. To check Django, what is the command? Django admin -- version. I have a Django within my system. If you don't have, you will install with the help of the command pip install Django. You can create the virtual environment and then you can create your project as well. So now let us create the project within the global system with the help of the command Django admin start project. The name of the project space and a dot. Let's create the application with the help of the command py manage.py start app and the name of the application. Include application in the settings.py file. Include the path. I'm going to write the URL directly within the project. So how do we write within the project directly? On the index page, it will call the views, and from view it will call the function name index. Whatever name you want, you can give it of the function and the namespace. So I will have to import these view files from which application books will import the views. Now we'll have to create this function because every URL is attached to a function within the views.py file. So create a function. So I have created a function name index which is going to render an HTML file index.html. The name of the HTML and the function need not be same. Whatever name you want, you can give it. So now let me create this HTML file within the folder name templates. Now you can have the template folder within the application or outside the project. Let me keep it outside the project. Okay. If it is within the application, you will not do any changes in the settings.py file. Since it is outside the project, I will have to do some changes now. Let me first create this folder. So within the templates, I have created another folder books where all the HTML related to this application I will write. Now go in the settings.py file and do some changes in over here. You will have to write templates. Okay. Now let us create that file index.html. Now this index.html is where within the books folder. So your Django can only come till templates. After that, where it is supposed to go, it is supposed to go in books folder and then index.html. Now let us run the server and check if everything is working fine. As a beginner, always check the server is running or not after you have done any changes in within your project. Okay. Okay, so it is running properly. Let me write some HTML code also over here. So I've created an index.html file. Let us see if it is working. Refresh. Yes, it is working. Okay. So now what you will do, we will create a static folder. The static folder can be within the application or outside the project. Let us first see if it is outside the project, what changes you will do in the settings.py file. It is not necessary that the templates and the static folder both has to be outside the project. You can create the template folder within the application and static folder outside the project, or whatever way you want. So let me create a static folder over here. So since it is outside the project, what I will have to do, I will go in the settings.py file and I will do some changes. So what you will do, you will come over here and you will write static files. Remember, it is files, it is having s in it, and static. So this will include the static folder, or it will tell Django where is your static folder. Okay. Somewhere you will see the people are writing the static directories like this way. Both the method are correct. Whichever approach you want, you can follow. Let me follow this one. You can go for this one as well. Okay. So now what I will do, since I've included the static in my settings.py file, I will create different folder for different static files. Like for CSS, I have created a CSS folder. All the JavaScript file I will keep in JS folder, and all the images I will keep in images folder. Okay. So if you'll see the directory structure, within the static, you have CSS folder, images folder, and JS folder. Okay. So now let me write a CSS. Whatever name you want, you can give it to this file. So I have given some CSS to the h1 tag. Now whenever we create an external CSS in index.html, what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to link it in the head. How do we link? We link with the help of the link tag. So let us write the link tag over here, and over here I will have to give the path of my CSS file, which is static. Within the static we have CSS folder, and within the CSS folder we have style.css. Okay. So let us see whether it is working or not. Refresh it. Yes, it is working. So now CSS has been applied to this particular h1 tag. There is one more way that you can give the path. This is a normal way that we used to give in the HTML file. Let us use the Jinja tag. How do we write within the Jinja tag? Curly braces, %sign, then write static. Then within the static, what we have CSS folder, and within the CSS folder we have style.css. Okay. And then %sign. Okay. So after the static folder, which folder? CSS folder. I've written CSS, then style.css. So let us see if it is working or not. Yes. So you will get this error. Okay. Whenever you are first working with the static file, remember within the Django, we have to load that static. Okay. So whenever you will get this error, do not worry. Come over here and load your static file. With the help of the Jinja tag, write load static and refresh it. See, now it is working fine. So remember the static folder, whenever you are writing the static file, kindly load the static. Okay. If let us see if I'll change the color, it is reflecting or not. So let me refresh it over here. Yes, it is reflecting. Okay. So now let us see how we can include the images as they have this doubt. The image, we include the image with the help of the image tag. Image src, you give the link over here and then you close the image tag. So where I'm having the image, within the static folder I have images folder and the name of the image is day.jpg. Let us see if it is including the image or not. See, the image has been included. But now what I will do, I will include this image in the background because I have seen the learners have doubt how to include the image in the background. I will go in the style.css and within the body I have to include the image. So I will write the code over here. So I have written the code over here. In the background I want to include the image. I will give the path with the help of the URL tag. Within the static we have a folder images and within the images the name of that particular image. Background size I want it to be covered, position I have given and the center. So let us see if it is working. See, I have this image in the background. Okay, so now we have seen how to include the image as well. So over here also you can go for this method to include the image, or we can go with the help of the Jinja tag as well. So I'm showing you both the method because project of someone else, you should understand how they have given the path. Okay, you should not get confused. So it is what in the CSS, you know, within the images we have what dd.jpg, jpg, and then percentage curly bracket close. So I'm still getting this image, means it is working fine. Okay, so either you can give it in this way or this way. Now let us see how we can include the JavaScript file. Let me write some code over here. I'm going to write a simple code. So I've created a button. Whenever somebody is going to click on this button, which function it is going to call? It is going to call a display function. So let me create that function in the JavaScript file. Whatever name of the file you want, you can give it. I've given the name as JavaScript. Let me write the function over. So I've written a JavaScript function. What is going to happen when we click on the button? It is going to call this function display. So I've created that display function over here, function, name of the function, and it is going to give the alert. We have included JS in our file. Okay, JavaScript. So let us come over here. Since JavaScript is attached externally, we will have to give the link of the JavaScript. How do we used to give? With the help of the script. So this is a script tag. And what is a path? Within the static folder, we have JS folder, and within JS folder we have javascripts.js file. Okay, so let us save it. Let us go and see the browser. Let us refresh. I can see the button over here. As soon as I click the button, I'm getting the pop-up. Okay, so means JavaScript is working. Again, the JavaScript ka path you can give it in this manner, or you can give it the help of the Jinja tag. So what you will do over here, within the double curly braces, give percentage sign, and you will write static. What is a path? JS, and within JS, what is a path? javascripts.js file, single quote and a space. Okay, so remember this is having percentage size and curly brackets, no space in between. Over here you will have to give the space. We have seen how we can include that static folder outside the project. Whenever you include that, what you will do, you will go in the settings.py file and you will do these changes. Okay, then what you will do, for different for CSS create a different folder, for images create a different folder, and for JavaScript create a different folder. Whenever you are writing a CSS, you will have to link the CSS file, or you can use a Jinja tag to link it. Then if you are having the image, again with the image tag you can include that images. You can do it with the help of this method, or you can use a Jinja tag. And whenever you have a JavaScript, you can include the JavaScript as well. Okay. So now let us go for the second approach. If you have all these files within the application, what changes you will do? I will create the project directly and then I will show you. So I have created the project, if you'll see. Similarly, you have created the project, then within the project you have included the application, then you have created a URL for the function, you have created that function over here, and then you have called a index.html file. Okay, again the index.html file is outside the project, so in the settings.py file I have done that changes over here. Okay, so till here everything is same. I have not changed anything. It is similar to the previous project only. So now let me include the static file within the application. So where is my application books? Let me create a folder named static. So what I will do now, I will not do any changes in the settings.py file. I will directly come over here and I will write CSS. Okay, and in that let me write one more file, style.css. Of course you will have the same directory within the static. You will have CSS folder, you will have images folder, then you will have JavaScript folder like previous only. Okay, so I will show you one way, one only style.css how you are supposed to write. Rest of the thing is same. How to link it, how to give the path, everything is same. Okay, so let me give the CSS style. Then you come in the index.html file. Remember to load the static, otherwise it will give you the error. I have already shown you what errors you will get. You have to link with the help of the link tag, and then rel is equal to style sheet, and whichever method you want you can follow. Href is equal to, we will use a Jinja tag over here, static. What is a folder? It is within the CSS. I have style.css. Okay, let me save this. So it is working fine. So what happens sometimes whenever you do any changes in the CSS file, that changes you cannot see it on the browser. So give a hard refresh with the help of the command control F5, or what you can do, close the server and start the server again with the help of control C and py manage.py.run server, or close a VS Code editor and again start the VS Code editor. Okay, and if still you are not getting your CSS, then of course you have done some mistakes. Okay, now the rest of the thing remains same. If you want to include the images and JS like you have done in the previous project, you will do it over here. The only changes that I had done over here is what the static folder was within the application, and when it is within the application, you have not done any changes in the settings.py file. Now suppose I want to have one more static folder outside this project, means inside the application also I want, and I want it outside the project also. So let me create another static folder outside the project. Let me include one more folder, CSS, and in that let me include style.css. So normally what we do, we don't give the same name, or like here also in the CSS folder you have given style.css, here also you are giving CSS folder style.css. Here what we can do, we can create another folder and then we can give it. But even if you give it same way, then what you are supposed, then what is going to happen, let us see. So I have to include the static file, static files underscore dirs is equal to static. So whenever you are going for the combination of both, okay, so let me go in this and let me write some css. Let me copy this css, paste it over here. Let me give for the h2 tag. So I have created an h2 tag and the same style I have given over here to h2 tag. Okay, so let us see. My server is not running, so let us run the server if it is working or not. So you can see over here only one css file color has been applied. It is taking of that of the project. In the style.css I have given for the h2 tag, so that css has been applied, but for h1 it has not applied. So that is why you should not give a conflict name. Okay, don't give the same name. Like over here also I have created a static within the static css folder and style.css. Here also static css and style.css. So at one place kindly change the name of the file. I have seen the learners having this doubt, or they are doing these mistakes again and again. That is why I'm solving this query as well. So come over here, either change the name of the file, change it over here as well. I will have to include both the files now. One that is having the style1.css and style.css. The method to include the file still remains same. Okay, now let us run the server and check if it is working properly. Yes, it is working properly. So over here in this tutorial, what we have seen how we can include the static folder. You can have within the application. If it is within the application, you will not do any changes. If it is outside the project, you will do the changes in the settings.py file. If you want to go for the combination of both, you can go for that as well, but you will have to do the changes in the settings.py file and avoid giving the same name in both the folders. Okay, I just want to add one more thing over here. We have created a project with the help of the command Django admin start project, name of the project space dot. So if you don't create with a space and a dot, you will have a project folder. Inside that you will have inner project folder. Then you will have your application, and outside project means your static folder will be over here on the same project, app and static. So it is outside your inner project, but it will be inside your outer project. Okay, so if you're going to go for that directory structure, for us it is directly outside the project. Okay, it is outside the project static folder. If you have any doubt in this particular tutorial, kindly write down in the comment box and I will help you out. So before we end, kindly like and subscribe the channel, as it will boost me to create many more videos, and I will be coming with the next video very soon. Till that time, if you have any doubts in any video, kindly write down in the comment box. I will give you the replies. Thank you. Bye.